everybody? Welcome back to Kickin' It with Kruse. Hey, happy Tuesday. Hope everybody's having a great day so far. Thanks for joining us last night in the show. Happy to be back on a Tuesday, guys. Tuesday, of course, is our new kind of like schedule. Tuesdays and Thursdays for the morning show, and then Monday, Wednesday, Friday for the evening show. And maybe I'll pick up more morning shows. What's up, David Campbell? Good to see you. Maybe I'll pick up more morning shows as we move along. How you been, David Campbell? Doing well? Good to see you out there, too. Miss you, man. I know we're always on different schedules these days. Also joining me back on Kickin' with Kruse. Happy to have her here. Everybody, welcome back, Miss Lexi Love. What's up, Lexi?
Well, I'm here. I'm queer. Get used to it, I guess.
There you go. How you doing, Lexi?
I'm great.
Coming in. Tell people what's up.
I'm very excited about today. This has been a long time coming. When did you start Brian?
It's been 3 years.
It's been 3 years, and I believe that within our first 2 months of working together, we talked about Tron coming out.
Yeah, and then it was pushed, delayed, changed, moved, delayed again,
so
and then Jared.
Cruise Control fan, you know, Brian and me love Tron.
Yeah, right. There's so much hate for Tron.
There is, but I believe that is the thing that bonded us early on in our relationship. It was our mutual love of Tron. We were the only people on the show today that were genuinely excited about Tron.
Yeah, right. Everyone's like, you guys, I don't know what you're even thinking. Why would you two even want to see that? We're like, because it's Tron, because it's epic, and the sci-fi is fantastic, and I love Legacy. David Campbell says, I love Tron. I hated the movie. Oh boy.
Don't worry, we're gonna get into that, but I thought it was important to know just how important this conversation today on this show is, because 3 years we've been waiting to have this conversation. There has been endless talk about, we're going to see this, we're going to go do this, there's going to be whatever. This has been the cruise control conversation that everyone's been waiting for.
Do you just want to pull the...
been waiting for.
Do you just want to pull the Band-Aid off, or do you want to wait up and build up to it?
Well, I know you got. I know you want to talk about our boy from Limp Bizkit real quick. So if you want to throw him in there, go ahead.
I do. Let's talk about that quickly off the top. I just think it's crazy that Gen Z loves Limp Bizkit so much. Like, I just think it's. I mean, I love it for Fred Durst, and I love it for, of course, all the founding members. And Sam Rivers, of course, passed away, the bassist of the original group of course, Limp Bizkit over there at the age of 48. Announced on social media, Fred Durst put a message out there too, just like saying his condolences, saying how much he misses him, can't believe it. Sad, it's always sad when we lose people that have been influential, of course, music, pop culture, movies, everything across the board. But he will be missed.
48 years old too. Wasn't an old man. This was a very young man who had plenty of potential still in his prime. 48's not old. I'm only 43.
I know, it's like nothing. And you think that to me it shocked me a little bit. I'm like from Limp Bizkit, really? This is really even a real thing? But people are passed away randomly. It's just like, it freaks you out sometimes when you get in your 40s too and you see people pass away in their 40s. Like, this doesn't seem right. Doesn't seem right at all.
The largest amount of personal deaths, like not myself, but enough people around me and stuff like that, major personal deaths this year. I know 2 people personally who have passed away. Everyone's breaking up with everyone. The relationships are just crumbling around us every 5 minutes. And long-term relationships. I lost my 10-year relationship. I know people around me who are also in 10-year relationships who've lost those. And 2025 is really taken. This is probably the most brutal year I've ever been through in my life. And I'm usually I know everybody's like, this year was terrible. I hope next year is better. And I'm like, this was the year.
At
least he's up there with Ozzy and fucking Ace Frehley.
Right. Ace Frehley too. That was crazy as well.
Which he was only 74, something like that. Like, he was, like, my friends think he's like, hey, he's got plenty of life left in him. I was like, I thought that was an okay age. My grandfather died at 72, but like...
I want to live till at least my 90s, if not forever. I don't want to go anywhere.
You will, because you're on the internet. You will live forever.
I guess in a way I will. But there's a lot of hours of me just ranting and raving about stuff that are out there. So,
That's the best legacy to leave.
you right, like mustache, no mustache, beard, clean shaven, all that. Give me it all. I have to grow the long hair back eventually, maybe. I don't know. But legacy is. I think he left a massive legacy behind. It's still 48 years old. It's like nothing. You get him at 50. That's insane to me. So I think he was having like some liver issues before too, and what was that?
I think he had cancer.
I think it was cancer based. Yeah, from what I understand.
And
So
his shirt says cancer sucks.
yeah, that makes sense, right? So it gets everybody after a while. That's the hardest thing, and I really hope that one day we can find a solution to that. There still is that medication that, and GR and I joke about it all the time. The one that stretches your telomeres from Telomere Pharmaceuticals, which they're saying when that releases, it will cure cancer, but it's also going to de-age people. And so that's a crazy drug right now. They're actually doing human studies on, and it's actually showing that it's working. It's going to cure autism, they said, cancer, and also de-age us. Which, come on, let's go.
And while you're at it, we're also gonna, go up to Elysium and sit in the medical pods. And
yeah, why not? Right? Elysium, what a movie! That's a reference for you.
That's a great film.
People hated that movie. People hated that movie.
People have terrible taste.
People hate on a lot of things these days, though. Nothing's really doing well. I was shocked even that.
I feel like it's cool to hate. The Offspring song has come into fruition.
It's cool to hate. Yeah, I agree. Yeah. I was shocked though, even about you think about Black Phone did well over the weekend. I didn't think that was going to do that well. It made its money back and then some.
I'm glad because the first Black Phone, I know everybody was really hard on it, and I was genuinely shocked it got a sequel. But I really like Black Phone. I think Black Phone is a really solid Stephen King story. Or is it based on his son? I can never tell anymore.
David Campbell said it was good.
Same family division, right?
Yeah, same, pretty much. I want to see it. I didn't get a chance to see it over the weekend. I was going to go see it Sunday. Something always comes up, but I'm going to probably see it this week sometime. But I'm really intrigued by it. So, I don't know. There's all these movies drop. Like Roofman came out this weekend. Some people saw that with Channing Tatum.
Roofman looks fucking awesome.
It made its money back.
Roofman doesn't necessarily look awesome as a film. It looks like a comedy, and it's not what I was expecting. But when I realized the story that it was based on, that is one of my all-time favorite criminal stories I've ever heard. The guy who lived in the walls of the Toys R Us for a month.
Yeah.
That's such a legend. I was so happy to see a movie got made of it. So
they made they spent $17 million on it or something like that. So you can go super
probably more than they needed to.
Probably more for being stuck in a Toys R Us. The whole.
Yeah.
But then they
the big expense went to finding a Toys R Us and rebuilding it, huh?
Yeah, that's my thing. Try to find one that's actually able to be not condemned. They're looking for one that's not condemned. Maybe I don't know. It's craziness. David Campbell says he got his tickets for Wicked for Good already. I'm going to see Wicked for Good. I think it's going to be Wicked for Good and do really well.
Cannot wait to see Wicked. You know how I am about film. I saw the first Wicked film. I have nothing bad to say about it.
It's a great movie.
Nothing. It is so good. It was the most delightful experience, and I cannot wait to watch the second one.
The new one looks even better. It just does. There's something about it too.
Which in the play, the second half sucks.
Really?
So the fact that this movie looks as good as it does, the second half of Wicked, it doesn't have the best songs. I find that it starts to muddle the story a little bit, on stage, and you're just kind of looking for it to kind of conclude because you already got Defying Gravity, and that's all you really came there for. I just wanted to say real quick about the popularity of Limp Bizkit. Gen Z seems to like what everybody from our generation or the adults in our generation or kind of stuff hated. So anything that was hated from the late 90s and 2000s and all that kind of stuff, Gen Z seems to be gravitating to and creating a resurgence around. I don't know if it's to be pedantic or if it's a genuine love, but same thing with Deftones. Not the Deftones, the Deftones is an incredible band, but they love Deftones, especially Gen Z girls. Gen Z girls are the ones that are really bringing the resurgence of Limp Bizkit and Korn and all that stuff. I've talked about that before. So it's not even just the guys; it's the girls that are into this stuff. And Korn has become huge with girls.
Korn
really
too.
Korn is
Freak on a Leash.
I girly girls, not just metalheads or any of that kind of stuff. Super girly girls are getting into this stuff. That's the demographic of Gen Z that got into this stuff, and they've all been calling it girly pop now, which is funny to me because I hated Korn fans growing up. They were the worst fan base I ever dealt with. I've never been threatened to been beaten up more by a fan base than Korn fans. I'm like, Jesus, I don't like your band. Stop trying to assault me in the parking lot. Like, my God.
I'm just shocked about how Gen Z loves these bands though too. Even like my cousin Valerie, she's like, I love Nine Inch Nails, and I'm
I
like,
remember.
Nine Inch Nails. I'm like, and she's like, Limp Bizkit, Nine Inch Nails. She's up into all these bands. It's crazy to me. And I'm like, all right, that's awesome. I love that the generation's there. And David Campbell says the second half is his favorite song, "No Good Deed" from Wicked. I've never seen Wicked the musical. Never saw the play before, which again is like, I need to see it live. I really love to see it live. I missed it last time it was here at the Pantages Theater, but maybe this next time around I'll get a chance to see it. It's always, the tickets are always so much money, and I'm always like, Then it's like getting a date or doing something else, and I'm like, getting someone to go see a musical with me is always tough sometimes. Then
Fine,
you go by yourself?
I'll go with you, Brian, don't worry.
Yeah. It's a whole thing. And David Campbell said he's seen it way too many times to count. I get that. I hear it's fantastic. I keep hearing great things about it, but I like the first half of the movie. I'm excited to see where it goes from there, and I think they did a great job with the casting.
I'm so excited for the second
It's going to be so good. Do you think Avatar, or do you think Wicked's going to do better this year?
Oh, Wicked. There's no
You
way
think Wicked's
Avatar. Nobody gives a fuck about Avatar. Who the fuck likes Avatar? Nobody's watching James Cameron. You know
The
what we
last
want,
one?
James Cameron? A good movie from you. You're one of the greatest directors to ever live. You want to go float around in the ocean and make more weird ocean movies? Go make some weird ocean movies. But this shit needs to end. Avatar is stupid, and you know damn well it is. You know damn well. I'm like, you're the man who made Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is one of the greatest films ever made. Doesn't even matter that it's a sequel. It's the perfect sequel. Like, it's an incredible film. If you're capable of making sequels, I thought you made Aliens. One of the most beloved films of all time. And Avatar? I'm like, that's your legacy? You think that's your legacy? Nah, dude, your legacy ended in fucking 95. When you fucking put Titanic out. Like, seriously, dude, you haven't done shit. And then you want to go
Titanic
put
was
Avatar?
mess.
Oh, you know what we really needed from you? Space Pocahontas. That's what I needed. I wanted you to make an epic story about basically Native Americans in space. That's what I really wanted. That's what I was
still think it's Ferngully a little bit. I know I battle people. I still think Ferngully.
It's like it's the worst garbage I've ever seen in my life. Like, it's not even good. Like, it's mediocre, and I think that's its greatest sin. Is that it's not. Oh my god, this is the worst film I've ever seen. I'm like, how could it be with that much money? I'm like, visually, it's stunning in so many ways, but also visually, it's not stunning. It also looks like a video game. It also looks like a giant CG masturbation fest, and like, the fact that there's so little live action in it, I almost find it hard to call it a live action film. It's essentially an animated film.
It really is. But it's made
human presence.
$2 billion. The last one made $2.3 billion.
Animated films, I would probably be more in love with what he's doing because I love animation. So it's like, you're not even doing anything. You're pretending you're making live action films. It's just like photorealistic Lion King. It's not live action Lion King. It's photorealistic CG Lion King. Like, if it was live action, you would have went and got some lions and done some old school on set. Like, I mean, the original
get some animal wranglers.
Real animals. Why can't you do?
They could have, but yeah.
The Jungle Book is probably one of Disney's best live action adaptations that people never think about. The original,
I don't think I can't even picture any of that movie anymore.
Right.
They used all real animals.
All real animals, all real actors. It was a beautiful film. Very well done.
It's great. They could do that again. 90s movies like to go there though, because they're like, where's this? Do it practical. But nowadays it's like, the photorealistic thing. Jon Favreau really made that kind of boom. And then I think they've really been pushing that more and more. And Dave Campbell, Titanic still makes you mad because of the ending? Well, because Jack dies or the board or, the board is dumb. It's still dumb. Get on the door, Jack. There's room. But Avatar made $2.3 billion, the second one. Think about this though, 688 domestically, but a 1.6 billion overseas. So overseas loves these movies.
You know damn well what I've said about this a billion times over. He didn't really make more profit off of that film. It was a $500 million film combined with the fact that they spent $500 million on advertising for it. So when you make $2 billion on your $500 million film, you're basically breaking even. You're not making that much money. Like I keep saying before, the most money to output to intake ratio is Blair Witch Project.
Oh yeah, still is to this day.
Like $10,000 to $20 million. Stop. I can't stress it enough. Stop. And also, like, this new trend with like people who are trying to do stuff like that, I'm gonna use Long Legs as a great example.
I love Long Legs.
It was a
You
piece of
you didn't like it? I loved it.
worst films I've ever seen in my entire life. And you know what it is? It's that it fools you. It's fooling people because visually it is stunning shot. Like they use incredible photography.
Daddy!
He's awful in that movie. He's awful. That's a terrible film.
I left my ass off on his performance. It's so funny.
Like praising it and stuff, and then the ending was the worst payoff I've ever seen. But I have to say, that headshot at the end, one of the best on-screen deaths I've ever seen. Some of the best on-screen effects I've ever seen. Some of the best cinematography I have ever seen, and some of the worst plot, story, and acting I've ever seen. Like, that's the problem here. If you're going into a film at this day and age, you're not going to get bad visuals. You're not going to get whatever. So if you're so easily won over by what's on the screen in front of you instead of what you're taking in, does that make sense? Does that statement make sense to you? Yeah. Like, it's not about what you see, because I see, how well it looks. Is it sinking in with you? Is it holding you there? Are you engrossed with this film? I have watched plenty of films that are made for like less than $1 million and been absolutely engrossed by them. Look at something like Clerks. Clerks is a great example.
So good.
Black and white, stand shot, and I don't
Clerks 1.
like Kevin Smith as a director, but I'm like, this is a great film. And it's a film that holds you and draws you in with the most simple and basic plots. I'm like, it's just about writing. It's about writing and developing your stories better. You need to write and develop better stories. It doesn't matter that you're working with a franchise. It doesn't matter what you look at Barbie. Barbie's one of the best franchise films I've ever seen in my entire life. Period.
What's up, Queen? Queen says hi.
How hard is it to get this shit out? Is it writers in Hollywood? Because I'm telling you, writers in Hollywood right now are shit. Whoever the fuck you people are, get your stuff together.
They're AI writers now.
Because this stuff's boring. Nobody needs more of the same. Spice it up.
Have you ever seen Enemy Mind? I saw like somebody asked about that. Blake Jetter. Terrible.
Not as good as I remember it though. I watched it again recently, and I was like, I when we were talking about the remake of it, which initially I was opposed to, and then I rewatched it again, and I was like, please remake this.
I have no. What's it about? Welcome, Joy Bag of Donuts. Joy Bag of Donuts.
It's about an alien. That aliens and humans are at war in space. There's like this ongoing epic space battle that's been going on for a while now, and it seems like they're at a point that nobody really remembers why they started fighting. They just are. So it's just like a race-based war, and then both two guys are fighting, and they crash on this planet. And when they crash on the planet, they run into each other, and one is like an alien, like a fish alien thing, and the other one is like human. And this planet is so hostile and so difficult to navigate that they end up forced to work together and in order to survive. And then what they end up doing is falling in love with each other, essentially. Like
we did talk about this movie, Dennis Quaid, right?
Yeah, and then he has a child, and when he gives birth to the child, then Dennis Quaid becomes the father of the alien's child, who it was his, at the end of the story, his best friend. And he becomes that uniting factor of stopping humans from fucking with the aliens. And so there's a lot there. It's just, it's got 1980s low budget like effects and stuff like that. And I think for the time we thought it looked better, but as you go back on it and look at it,
it's not that great.
Yeah.
There is a remake coming of that, isn't there?
Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, there's a remake coming. And that was a conversation we had a while ago. I wonder where we're at with that now.
I think it was over a year ago.
Yeah, it feels like it. I wonder if it fell through the cracks.
Because I was in Colorado when we were talking about that. So
yeah, I mean, it's been a long time. And I mean, everything we know. So the last update was, June 17, 24. Wait, no, the remake is currently in early development still as of October 21st. No director or producers officially attached, so they've kind of been going around 20th Century Studios. So it's Disney has rights to it, so they're still waiting on that.
That's not the worst property for Disney to work with, all things considered. They can do a lot. PG.
They just recast Dennis Quaid again. Put Dennis Quaid back in there.
Doing is bringing the Disney to fucking aliens.
Oh, they love aliens.
Can we just get like really wet and gooey aliens again that drip and like are disgusting and like push all boundaries of like? There's just like a lack of like something in these modern alien pieces. It's like
you're right. They don't drool enough. You're right. They don't drool enough. Even on Alien Earth.
A big topic of discussion with Alien Earth within the group of people in my life is that a lot of people think they look terrible. I said I think on screen they're the best alien costumes I've seen on screen, especially if you look at something like Resurrect or Alien versus Predator. Those are the worst alien costumes I've ever seen on screen.
Yeah,
but the end result is excellent look of the visuals, and they do a really good job of doing the old school alien from the first film look combined with a modern alien look. Like they've got a good mix up of stuff, but I don't like that they're not wet enough. Aliens are constantly drooling because it's like, imagine like if someone took your lips and removed your lips from your face and your teeth were always out and you're just like, you wouldn't have any control over where your drool goes, right? So that's what an alien's mouth is.
Yeah,
it's like a lipless mouth that's constantly like unable to contain that like saliva.
Did you watch all of Alien Earth? Did you watch the whole thing?
Did.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was actually pretty well done.
I think there's a lot of good in it. I think there's a lot of what the fuck are you doing in this? But I think there's a lot of good. I want to see the next part. I really like the young scientist guy. The optical alien is very intriguing.
The young genius guy.
More about plant alien that wants to suck people up into it. I need to know more about that. And those things.
The fact that they have like a xenomorph as a pet pretty much in this too. It's crazy. It's like a pet but a sidekick. Yeah.
I think the part of that show that I hate the most is the Wendy, with her sitting there going to the fucking. Like I don't need this. I don't need this portion of things. Like I'm being able to figure out how to communicate with the aliens. Because like at the end of the day, it's pretty much proven repeatedly through all alien content that these things are not really a species, but more of like a virus. Like they behave in like they're a world destroyer. Like they're a weapon. They're blatantly a weapon. That's all they are. Like that's what people want them for, is to weaponize them. So,
and that's what they're doing in that series too. But weaponize them completely.
We're gonna talk about Disney and talk some shit about Disney. We got this Tron to talk about.
I know, right? We'll get into that. I was say Queen said "Enemy of Mine" is remake. Yeah, remake of Hell in the Pacific, and Hell in the Pacific was World War II combatants trying to survive on an island together. I wouldn't mind a reinterpretation of that though too. Yeah, I mean, I definitely want to see where they go with this if it ever sees the light of day. Of course, they're still trying to dodge it around, pass it around. So they'll probably attach some random new actor and maybe they'll make it happen to two new actors. And then Queen said, I think Chalamet, put Chalamet in there with like Josh Hartnett. Let's go. Weird combination, but
Josh Hartnett could be the alien.
There you go. Let's go for it. I think the Alien franchise played out. Queen said too. They're doing a TV version. Yeah. Well, I still think they got another Romulus coming, a sequel to that. You haven't done. They still haven't officially greenlit Alien 2. They have Alien Earth 2. They haven't officially greenlit that yet, but they're still kind of teetering. I think that's going to happen. But yeah,
the ratings on it were good enough. I mean, people were. It was the biggest. It was the biggest launch event on Hulu in years. Like people were like lining up to watch it. I didn't know anybody who wasn't watching it. So
yeah, everybody was checking it out. It was pretty big. And then Blake Jetter says over here, my favorite on-screen alien in movies is the War of the Worlds type pods. Oh, okay. I like the War of the Worlds too. I had a fun time with that movie. Tom Cruise, guys.
Which one are you talking? The Tom Cruise ones? Or are you talking the original? Like
yeah, Blake. 60s? Blake did say that he has. They have a massive VHS and DVD collection. Still rocking those VHS.
I think the ones from the Tom Cruise one are kind of lame, but the original, like old school ones where they have like the more mechanical alien look, I think those are better.
I love all the alien stuff. I'm all about it. What's up, Party Saurus? Welcome back.
The original War of the Worlds, the original like 60s version, 50s, 60s, War of the Worlds film. One of the best movies I've ever seen.
I've seen it, but it's been so long.
That's incredible. Like, it shouldn't be as good as it is, genuinely. It's an incredibly well-made film.
I'm going to see the picture of the aliens. I got to see a picture.
Some of the best effects I've ever seen. Especially for that era. My God, some of the best screen effects I've ever seen. When they use the lasers on people and kill them and stuff, it looks so good.
And Blake said the original tripod design is way better.
Yeah, the original tripod's so much better. I didn't like the squiddly tentacle, more modern one. I wasn't into
That's
that.
trying to make it more like our modern interpretation of what the alien is. But
Right.
you know what? You know what we need to talk about, Lexi, because it's been a long time coming. We got to talk. We got to talk about some Tron. Let's talk about some Tron, guys. This movie for about 3 years now, it feels like. But Tron, guys, Tron Ares is officially a flop. That's right, officially a flop, because they're looking at losing like $132 million, $132.7 million right now based off the box office so far. Now, I think personally, this will make more money on streaming. When it gets to streaming, we've been seeing that trend, right? It's been happening more and more, Lexi. They go to streaming, that's when they really start making their money. The same thing happened with Legacy, became more of a cult classic along the ways. But everyone's like saying, why would Disney do this? They're already saying that the whole ending setting up for more Dillinger is not going to happen now. That probably will never see this happen in 15 years if we're lucky to see that.
And I didn't want that when I was watching it too. Like, we'll get into that, but I'm like, the fact that this set itself up for more was really... this movie was very poorly handled. I mean, I as a absolute lover of Tron, and not just because Tron's cool, my love of Tron comes from the fact too, like as a film person, as a film major. As a film major, Tron is one of the most respectful, well-done franchises I've ever interacted with in my 30, 40 years on this planet of dealing with it. Tron has really good effects and are interesting on their own, but the thing that's so good about Tron is that Tron starts its film presenting an idea, right? So the first Tron film is what is the grid? What would happen if we could, go inside of a computer? What would happen if we were inside that world? What sort of like things could we build? What could we do? What options would we have as humans? How much would this open a new world, a new universe for us? What would we gain from it? Because those are the questions that the creator of Tron is asking. Because the creator of Tron, the Jeff Bridges character, is a man who is fascinated by watching things grow and evolve, and his fascination is he wants to see how much biology you can include into technology and see if technology has the ability to biologically grow the way a human does, essentially. And so that's something that's core to the Tron series, and that's what makes Jeff Bridges' character in Tron such a great character, because he's a beautiful god. Like, he's really proud of what he's done. He's really happy to be there, and he is God. In this world, he's God. That's what he represents. So the first film is a simple idea. He goes into his stuff. They were like, how can we make a video game live action on screen, right? So they make a video game live action on screen. The concept of you being the player, being in the game instead of there, and all that kind of stuff. But Tron's outlying ideas have always been presented there. And so Tron isn't just a guy goes in a video game, wins the game, and gets out of his game. Tron that's the initial starting place of it, but that also opens the door for the creatures of Tron, the things in that world, to understand themselves and start becoming their own programs and becoming their own things. And so that's what leads to Legacy. Legacy is a perfect sequel.
The IOs.
That is the best sequel to a film ever made outside of Terminator 2. But like, because all it did was remember the idea that was presented at the start of Tron, the grid and all that kind of stuff.
Which did again this one too. They started the same way, except they had Jeff Bridges say it higher now. So he was like, the grid. And he was like, the grid. I was like, when I heard that, I was like, wait a second. Why we take a different take from Legacy right now? That's not the take we should be using. But
like Legacy was his son, specifically going back to the arcade. He went into the arcade that his dad owned, and he found in the back room his system that he built. And what we learned was that after the first Tron film, that Jeff Bridges had not gotten out of his, he went back in his game and he stayed in there. He went back in his system. And while he was in his system, he helped evolve the pre-existing system that he already built. So what the world that his son goes into is what happens when that system starts to upgrade and evolve and all that kind of stuff. And the sequel is watching what Jeff Bridges made and watching his little people all kind of come together and like make music and do this and all this kind of stuff. And the fact that they were becoming their own little city, and that
Clue's in
Tron was
charge and Tron's still
manipulated
there.
by the other system. The other system was like, we can't have imperfections. We can't have human imperfections in here. We have to eliminate them. And so the system that he made, Clue, was a Clue that he
Yeah.
used to help
Bum, ba, bum, bum,
became
bum.
Clue couldn't. It could. Clue was a machine. It didn't have the thinking process that allowed it to evolve. And so these films are discussions about like AI. They're discussions about the soul, the human, and they're so deep. And not just that. TV shows are really well done too. The TV shows are very respectful to the property and what it does.
And it
The video
continues.
games have always been incredibly good, incredibly well done, especially the Tron 2.0 game back in like the 90s, the first person shooter. Like it all follows the lore of Tron and respects the lore of Tron and has always created a solid product. And I think the fact that we got so much trickle with Tron, you got more excited about it when it came to.
And
You were like,
Ares shit over all of it.
right. So let's talk about Ares then. So Ares we get to.
And Queen said this quickly though. Queen said they should have picked up right after Tron Legacy, and they didn't want to bring back the other actors except Jeff Bridges from the first one, and they didn't know how to advertise it. And then Blake's saying Tron's kind of hard to mess up. You just follow the same formula. But yeah,
Right.
you keep in that same world, and I think that they should have continued right after Legacy. The fact that we're even like setting up to go back to the Legacy storyline at the end of Ares is like, why? It should have started.
You're getting ahead of me with what I want to talk about with that for sure. Because that is one of my big issues, is that this film starts up and it feels like it wants you to forget Legacy pretty hard. It feels right off the bat like it wants to pretend that Legacy doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So this film is immediately like edging out things from other stuff and sort of like trying to plant itself in here, and it feels like a big red glowing out of place chunk in the middle of the Tron universe. And then on top of it, I think there were some really, really fascinating ideas presented to us in this. I really liked the idea of there being a competing technological company who, when we look inside their systems, we get to look at something like Ares, who happens to be, program designed for like basically
Military.
I was gonna say he's essentially like a McAfee. You know what I mean? Like he's like a big old badass virus scan program that's like designed to go
Whoop that ass.
But I think,
and having Dillinger control that makes sense, you know.
and Dillinger being in control was really neat, and I liked I loved the Dillinger's son character. I think that he was an interesting character, and I think that like one thing that it did incredibly well was I thought I was very opposed to, you know this, I was very opposed to going out in the real world. I was like, I don't like them bringing Tron stuff out into the real world, but I think the way the film executed it was kind of flawless in the ability to say like, hey, like it's using lasers to 3D print stuff. We 3D print stuff with lasers all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I think the idea that he's figured out like that this stuff, the fact that Jeff Bridges has already created the technology essentially that shows us that we can redigitize and dedigitize, you know, that is also something that was fascinating in that world. And I was like, I think the idea that maybe we could like make vehicles in like a program and then 3D print
it's an awesome idea.
Yeah, I was like, I think these are great ideas, and I even thought the idea of the 3D printed programs coming into the real world, I thought that was a neat idea. I thought that
and them controlling it eventually too, be like, I don't care, I'm just gonna keep coming back in. That was cool. I like that too.
And it opened up an interesting door when they did the light cycle battle in the city.
Yeah,
I think there were some things about that, but this movie is full of nostalgia bait. And it's nostalgia bait for a movie that doesn't do that. So when you're watching Tron and it's like, hey, remember the light cycle? Remember this? Remember that?
Remember berries?
And they're like, and then I think my biggest issue all day, every day, is when Ares goes into the old computer system of where Jeff Bridges is.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the effect was gorgeous. The way that they were able to do the old Tron effect and give it that whatever quality, I think everything looked great. Except for the fact that Jeff Bridges' system is upgraded already. Because that's what Tron Legacy is about. So
Yeah.
you just voided everything from Tron Legacy and took it out of play. And then on top of that, Jeff Bridges' system, I believe, is not self-contained. I believe it has the ability to kind of venture out. So I was under the impression that this film would be more like Jeff Bridges' system has been something that this other guy's company has now, and has sort of made it mass marketed, and that the Tron world is beyond, just what Jeff Bridges built, and that it's almost like an integrated system that everybody's using now in a lot of ways, and that this guy's found the next key and all that. But I just I think putting nostalgia bait in a film that nobody, in a series of films that never does that, is weird. And I think that you eliminated so much of what you did in, because I was actually, this movie was winning me over pretty well. I was an hour into this film before I was like, wait a minute, what the fuck? Why would you eliminate so much of your second film and then end the film with him holding up a picture of the son,
Sam Flynn,
at the end of the film, and go, I need to go find them? No,
you should have. That should.
The sequel
No, it should
needed to
started.
be all about this company, with the D. I can't think of the name, but you said the name.
Yeah, Dillinger.
Dylan. Yeah, it needed to be more focused on this Dillinger company having his system, and maybe the AIs that he made go kind of rogue and figure out that they don't need the system's restrictions or that kind of stuff, or I don't know what. I mean, there was a lot more option with this, and there was a lot of option to. The son was an integral character. The son is an important character, as is the fact that.
And they wrote him off in the very beginning. He steps down, and it's like, why would he step down for personal reasons? The Greta Lee character should have been Sam Flynn, if you ask me. That should have been Sam Flynn. He's still trying to control it all, trying to battle the military programming of the Dillinger. You still have Flynn versus Dillinger, the new generation, and then you have, maybe if you want to bring Jeff Bridges back, you find out he's still kind of a piece of his traces in the system. But the fact that they just kind of wiped all that away, and then it's like had Sam not be there, didn't make any sense. And then the Greta Lee thing was like, I like her normally. I look at her in the morning show, but I just felt like Tron wanted to, or I should say Ares wanted to fuck her. It felt like to me, and that just kept hitting me throughout the whole thing. Like he's lusting for her, and I'm like, why are you trying to humanize this AI so much as opposed to just telling a story about Tron? And it just felt like it was like a pitch for AI is going to be a good thing.
Well, let's not even talk about how much masturbatory 80s nostalgia throwback there's just shoehorned into this movie, and not done in a way that hey, Flynn made this in the 80s. If we have Flynn's replica, like antiques in our office, that's fine. This was I love Depeche Mode. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Are you? He's like, I'm in the 80s. Whoa. I'm like, shut up. And for Jared Leto, we can talk shit all day about Jared Leto and his crazy cult and all that, whatever. But I have said repeatedly, and I stand by it, he is one of the best character actors I've ever seen. He's a phenomenal actor. He is an Academy Award-winning actor. He is very talented at the one thing that he does well. Very, very well. What the fuck was he doing in this movie?
I've been saying that about...
This was a waste of an incredible talent's role. This role could have been played by Chris fucking Pratt, and you would have got the same results.
Well, he wanted this though. He's a big Tron fan.
It was such a mediocre, poorly written character, and I'm shocked that he would have wanted it. It was beneath him as actor. It was a role that was far beneath him. Well,
his movies have been bombing recently too, though, Lexi. People are actually blaming him for this movie failing too, because all the allegations of essay against him, and also the cultism. all of that. People are saying, why would Disney ever put him in a spot like this? But he's been attached to it for like 9 years. And he was supposed to do it when it was supposed to be a direct sequel to, it was supposed to be originally a direct sequel to Tron Legacy. And then they decided to scrap that. He was attached to be the part of it. And then he said, well, if you ever do Ares again, if you focus on that Ares character, then I'll come back for it. And that's what they did. They hyper focused on that. I think they had him attached and they ran with it. And then I think they thought, well, if we reestablish it and we put some breadcrumbs, if people want to see it, we can do it in the next one of Tron Legacy. But like, people already love Tron Legacy. That actually had, if you think about the cult following it got, it wasn't a box office success. But
you want to talk about Gen Z? Gen Z love Tron Legacy.
Yeah.
Tron Legacy is being regarded now as like a classic, like an absolute like cult, like you said, cult classic. It was a forgotten. There's no reason it should have bombed at the time, all that kind of stuff. Like, I think the problem is that Tron's fan base is small but powerful, if that makes sense. Like, there's not a lot of us out there, but we love Tron, like, when we're in it. And so, like, the dedication to it is definitely there by fans, but that, like, the mainstream has a hard time with it. It's always been an outsider amongst the Disney products. It's always been, I mean, the only thing weirder than Tron in the whole entire history of Disney's filmmaking is the Black Hole. And I adore the Black Hole. I would love to see them. If that's a movie you want to remake, Disney, give me another Black Hole all day, every day. I would kill for that. But like,
I don't know what this is. Black Hole.
That one and Tron, they're forays into science fiction that they keep trying every time they dip their toes in it. They do it well, and so I would like to see more of that. But
cinematography was great in this. It looked awesome. Like, it looked really cool.
I mean, I gave this on my letterbox. I gave this a 2.5 out of 2.5 stars out of 5, and I only gave it.
Nailed it
because the fight sequences were excellent. The visuals were incredible. The new designed like discs, the info discs that they battle with.
Yeah,
I thought the little triangle ones were really neat. I thought they were cool. The combat sequences look great. Like I said, like the race sequences in the city look great. I think there's a lot of visually good, and that's something I really wanted to say. The soundtrack was excellent.
Oh, it's so great.
9 Inch Nails. It didn't feel 9 Inch Nails. It felt like 9 Inch Nails was making a soundtrack, and so it really, 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 really suited the tone of the film. And I think that the one area that this film absolutely killed it was following that legacy of music. And so what I wanted to say in that was, I think that if we're going to keep following Tron, if we're going to keep making Tron, if Tron's going to be a continuous thing in our lives and we're going to make more of this, I think the concept needs to be that instead of being like, because we were sour that Daft Punk didn't come back, but then we got this soundtrack. And I think what we need to do from now on out with Tron films is we need to get legacy electronica artists who have, like, you know, a stellar catalog of whatever, and give them an opportunity to do a soundtrack for each Tron film and make each Tron film uniquely sort of based around whatever that soundtrack is. Because this was very based around the soundtrack that Trent Reznor put. I mean, obviously the film. It's really
the meat and the potatoes of this whole thing is that Trent Reznor score. And it's like, I love the music and it's so good. And I just think that, you know, I honestly wouldn't even mind if 9 Inch Nails came back for another one, or maybe we had a Daft Punk 9 Inch Nails, like bringing those worlds together somehow.
Or maybe we should get, you know, someone who is fresh to do it. Maybe go get, like, I don't know, like, I'm just trying to think of like a good legacy electronica artist right now. I mean,
yeah, I can't.
It's not my favorite, but you could absolutely do a Skrillex, or you could do, you know, maybe a Deadmau5, or I don't know. Like, there are plenty of really good quality DJs out there that could really make a salt. I think Deadmau5 personally could make a really fun good Tron soundtrack. I just miss
like that bum 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 bum. Yeah. You know, I mean, you could have just used a little bit of that too, and I would have been like, just a little bit. This wasn't a sequel to Tron Legacy, though. It really wasn't. So it was kind of its own kind of little beast, which again is very unfortunate because you had like everything right there, the tools to have like a successful sequel, but you just didn't go for it. And
what color do you think the next Tron will be?
It's going to be probably, well, we did blue, now red. I bet it's going to be yellow. It's going to be all yellow. kind of like the yellow or white, but
Tron.
they're not gonna get it for like 20 years, by the way. So good to see you, Killian. Thanks for being here. Jared Leto collecting a paycheck. Queen says, love Tron myself. I've seen the black hole a dozen times. Show my boyfriend the black hole, and he said, are those robots from South Park? He liked most of what he found. He said the old Bob died.
Bob and
they kind of look like South Park robots. I can see that.
Bob Vincent. Okay, I want to tattoo of Bob. I want to tattoo of Bob right here because this is my arm of broken robots. So like I have the baby robot from Batteries Not Included, the one that dies and gets brought back to life, and then underneath him, I'm supposed to get the robot from the black hole.
Hell yeah!
Bob one,
I gotta watch a black hole now. I see it right. I've never seen it.
What year such a good movie.
79, huh? Wow, I'll check this out. I check this out. So let's go back to the Tron thing too. So okay, you're still setting up the movie set up like the first one kind of too, but of course you're going into like what's been happening since then. You're getting rid of Flynn. You never even talk about the iOS or ever the sentient programming that came around. The biggest thing for me, I mean, I gotta tell you, I liked Evan Peters a lot. I think Evan Peters is a great actor. And what he brought to that was kind of like what Lex Luthor probably should have been in, of course, the Superman world. Yeah. Like that kind of tech billionaire that's kind of crazy, but still like, power hungry, but still is intelligent. And everything they did with him, I think, was great. Even the setup at the ending, you're making him the original Dillinger in a way, but we're never going to probably see it. But maybe we will. Maybe we will. I think that made sense for him. I still think at the end of the day, if they would have just like that small little tweak, just having Flynn be in charge, he finds this revolutionary thing that can actually bring everything to the real world. That would have been something crazy and interesting. Then you still have the heart and the soul of him and Jeff Bridges when you see Jeff Bridges again, and you have that still attachment. Dad, how are you still alive? Maybe he brings him out at the end. You could have had so much more about the Flynn character because it was Flynn versus Dillinger. And by really getting rid of Flynn, you're really killing part of the heart and the soul of the whole Tron franchise. And they did a great job.
I needed more time understanding Dillinger and where he is and what he fits into it. Like, I feel like I remember his name in the background of the other films, but like I don't. And
even the last one,
so focused on Tron that we never get time with. Like,
there's no Tron in this either.
Yeah, and Tron. The fact that Tron isn't in Tron. I mean, Tron is about Tron.
Yeah,
I mean, that's what these movies are about. Tron is a thing. It's not just it's not a universe. It's a person. He's a program. He's like a virus. He's like an antivirus.
Even if it was Rizzler, the last one, right?
I would have thought the Ares. I thought Ares would be an upgrade of Tron, if that makes sense. Like I thought that it would be an evolution of what Tron is, because Tron is like one of the best like antivirus programs ever. Like Tron is a badass. Like nobody can step to Tron, and that's what makes the second Tron scary. Is that when the bad guy takes over Tron, nobody can step to Tron. So like it's a really and you don't want to fight him because he's not an asshole. He's not a bad person. He's a good program. But like ultimately he's also like because he was the program that won the game all the time, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, like he was the main. He was the most badass version always.
Yeah. So he always won. So he was like one of the few programs who always won the game. So he wouldn't have gotten out of the game without Tron. So Tron's evolution is fascinating as a character. Tron, the series is called fucking Tron. Why is he in the movie?
What was his name? Sark was in the first one. Was that the bad program that was kind of taking out the other program? So and I know that they were saying that the Dillinger character was going to be because his disc at the very end looks like Sark's disc. So they were trying to set that up, being like that's a rebirth kind of that program with Dillinger combined moving forward because he had the
disc, the old school disc is what his thing turned. I thought that was neat.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was a cool little Easter egg too. That was like, oh, that makes sense from the first one.
There's a good way to make reference, and there's a bad way to make reference.
Yeah. Good to see you, Travis.
I don't know about the light cycles functioning in the real world the way that they did, and it's not necessarily that I like that sequence. I thought that sequence looked good, but how would light materialize into a solid object in reality?
I mean, 3D printing?
We can't ask that question in a computer. You know what I mean? It's a computer. It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant. Like, you can do whatever the fuck you want in here. It's a computer. But like in the real world, we do have physics. So I feel like there are limitations that these things would have, because it essentially, like, the light coming out the back was a solid object. It became a visceral object. I'm like, how are those going to disappear? How are those going to whatever? I don't know. And I think there were some weapons that were shown to me in this movie that were kind of stupid. Like that baton stick that has the light trails that come off of it.
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, I guess I see the point, but I was like, I also feel like that hinders you as a combatant. Like, it doesn't feel like a good weapon. It just like was like an attempt at doing something weird.
It visually looks cool. That's what they're saying.
Like, Tron isn't about light cycle streams. It's a small part of a whole, and I'm like, I don't want everything having light cycle streams coming off of it all of a sudden. I don't need a bunch of these. I was like, it's like, and they kind of show that at one point, like when there's piles of the lines of light screens all over the place, and we're just kind of like trying to like get past them and stuff.
It's like, how are we gonna do with this now? It's kind of fun in a lot of ways, but I mean, yeah, you're right. Like, do those things stay there too? Even like the light cycle one that they're ripping cars in half. Do they just stay there, or do they disintegrate after a while? Like, they don't really talk about that.
Great when there was a car that went up on the light stream.
Yeah, and it flipped.
And it like in a way that it like went up at like a ramp. And
yeah, that was pretty cool.
Very well done. It was very realistic, and I was like, that is exactly what would have happened in that situation. I'm like, I'm glad that they thought about that instead of having somebody just drive into it and crash. Like, I was like, oh, that was well done.
And Travis says, I figured Flynn is alive because of the Flynn Lives virus from Tron the next day. What are your thoughts? Tron the next day. That's crazy. That Tron the next day, they scrapped that, or they put it on, it was in the DVD, the Blu-ray, right? So in the Blu-ray, it was like the next 10 minutes the next day that follows Tron Legacy. Have you ever seen this, Lexi?
I don't think I have, no.
Yeah, it's a 10-minute short. It was on the Blu-ray for Tron Legacy, and it's like it follows Sam literally the next day talking about stuff. And I know that they do have a whole thing saying that Flynn lives, and it was an Easter egg that Flynn was not gone, so that they could actually bring Jeff Bridges back, of course, but nothing ever went from it, and they scrapped it from everywhere.
I thought this felt like that sounds cool. I'm gonna go find that. I'm gonna go watch that.
Yeah, it's worth checking out. It's pretty cool. You can find it on YouTube.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. I think this felt like a fourth film. This felt like we didn't get part 3, and all of a sudden we're watching part 4. And I felt like I missed an entire film somewhere in this series. Like, all of a sudden I'm here. And I think that maybe if I had had part 3 before I got part 4, I would have been less confused. But there is no part 3. This is part 3. So I'm just confused.
It'd be kind of funny if they did do like the next Tron movie was like Tron 2.5 or something like that. And it does follow in, and you find out what happens with Sam and all that. And then 20 years after that, Ares comes back and we find the crossover event. I don't know. It just felt like it did feel like it was missing elements of like the continuity we should have had. And I get trying to reboot something, but you weren't really rebooting. You were half-ass rebooting it, and it didn't need a reboot. The last one, if anything, you should have learned that the last one actually had a big fan base. And people are trying to say there's no fan base for Tron anymore. I still think I'm happy it happened. Like Queen said, Queen goes, at least we got another Tron. Yeah, I love it. We're still like going into that Tron verse. And I just wish that we would have just used those elements. I saw the guy who played of course, Sam, and he was doing interviews, and he's just like, I talked about it before. I'm not in this, but I'm excited to see where they go. I really hope I can come back someday to be Sam. And I think that would have made more sense. It just would have made more sense.
It made so much more sense. They really screwed the pooch on this one.
Yeah, like why is this Greta Lee character just there too? Like her character's kind of like these, sisters are running the company now.
The sisters, who the fuck were they? They acted like I was supposed to know who they were.
Yeah, I had no fucking idea.
I was supposed to have an attachment to them. They acted like we should be back with these characters and we should be familiar. Like I said, this felt like the 4th film, and we needed a 3rd film that they introduced all this new bullshittery that they wanted us to be into and that we got this film where we get to finally just go have fun. Because this film was trying really hard to have fun, and it did fun when it involved in its sequences of fun, but overall, it just couldn't get its story down. And if it's one thing Tron has done well throughout the course of its entire existence, it is incredibly well done storytelling. I don't gravitate to things that don't have good story. I stick with stuff that has incredibly well written, well done character building and character storytelling and all that kind of stuff. You know why? I don't like Christopher Nolan films for that very reason.
I love Nolan films.
But it's the same thing I talk about when I talk about film. I'm always talking about the same. What I say about Longlegs, what I say about whatever. I have an attachment to
Daddy! One more time.
Yeah, you know what? I like that you can.
Lots of hand play like this, like lots of these shots. I will do
What is with Hollywood and being like, oh, we're gonna go get this really, really well done actor, and we're gonna give them a role, and they either need to play a mentally ill person or some kind of like crazy killer. And every time they play a crazy killer, they're always like, and you're like, everybody's like, brilliant, brilliant, and I'm like, what? Why is this brilliant? I don't understand. I'm like,
it was a choice.
It's not brilliant to like play mentally ill people, all this kind of stuff. I'm like, there are rare occasions and all this kind of stuff, and I'm just like, what is this? I'm like, I don't understand. But anyway, at what point do you think with film that we get to what point, even just with Disney in particular, because it really feels like it's a Disney problem at this point more than anything, that we started just flooding films with, hey, remember, like member berries, like these films are all member berries. But like, when did that start, and at what point do we pull back from it? Because like
2000s reboots started happening. I think
this is a problem with Disney all across the board. It doesn't matter the property that they own; they always end up falling back into this member berries trap. And the member berries is the thing that kills all of these films. It's like my biggest issue with Alien Romulus in particular. So let's go back to that one real quick. It's another Disney property, because that was Disney who put that one out. It's such a good film until it's aliens. And then you're like, okay, now I'm just following pseudo Ripley, doing pseudo Ripley liners, and, you know, basically getting the end of Aliens, but done here, and also you took the gravity off for a second. So there's so much potential for this to be its own incredible, interesting stand-up piece with an original, new, fun, badass female lead, and you went, let's make her Ripley, to a point that like it became too much. There were too
which she
many
wants to come back for Alien Earth season 2, by the way. Ripley, Sigourney Weaver's talking.
I love Sigourney Weaver. She's a treasure. She can do whatever the hell she wants.
Yeah, she's talking about, they're negotiating stuff right now, so I can see her coming. Why not? It takes between Alien 1 and 2. It takes place, so
I'd love to see that. That's fascinating. I'm absolutely here for that. That'd be great if they had her like when she came back and when she's sitting in the room, her learning about her wife, her daughter being dead, like that era.
Oh, that'd probably be what they had to do, right? I feel like that would be the most logical path, unless it's someone who's never.
The special edition version of Aliens, where they her and the corporate guy sit in the little.
Was that the Fincher one? That wasn't the Fincher one, was it? Or
Fincher's the third.
Third one. Okay.
The second one's Cameron. James.
Okay, that's right. That's right. I'm always like, I want to go. I gotta like binge those movies through one more time. It's been so long. Be kind of fun to rewatch them. No originality, Queen says.
Like, but you know, when you look at something like Alien Resurrection, which is not a good film, but it's also a great film. It's like, it's a terrible film, but it's a fun film, right? But more importantly, it did its own thing. It was like, we're going to bring aliens back. How can we make it of the time and let it do its own thing? And they brought in all these like big people of the moment, and they had it be its own thing. And if it was good or bad, it doesn't matter. It's its own thing. This idea that you need to keep going back and centering something from the original film, centering it in this shot, and do a slow pan in on it and go like, you know, oh, remember, we need some time to stare at the object and remember it and take it in and have that like heart pumping music around it right before they use it. And now we're gonna go, yeah, they're using the thing from the other film, and I'm just like, how dumb are we as a species? Like that sounds like some shit that's like, hey, remember when we went down to the creek and you picked up that stick over there and you hit Brian? He's like, go hit Brian with it again. Ooh, I'm getting memories.
Member Barry.
That's what it is. That's what it is. I'm like, it's that level of dumb. It's like, it's such a simplified, basic way of doing it. And there's such a good way to handle things. You know how many movies we watched that had shit from the other film in it and it was just there in the background? Look at how excited we were to watch like something like Jason Goes to Hell, and the Freddy glove was just sitting there, and the Jason mask
cool.
there, and you're like, oh, there's a way to do it without being intrusive. There's a way to do it that makes people ask questions and go, "Are we going to get this? Could this happen? Is this a possibility?" Without sticking it out there and making it more like prominent and making it a kind of thing. And like I said before, of all of the series to do this with, Tron is the last place to go for nostalgia bait. And honestly, Alien is too. You
Yeah,
don't go to
they're loving the Alien franchise these days, so they're just getting into it. They're
if there
getting
is one
into
man
it
on
like
the planet
Predator.
who isn't sitting here going, how can I redo what I did before? It's fucking God damn it, I'm really bad with names today. You know what I'm talking about. The guy
James Cameron?
No, not James Cameron.
Are you talking about Ridley Scott?
Yeah. I'm tired.
Ridley Scott's producing all that. He's just like getting into. He's like, whatever. I'll just produce all this.
You know what I want? I want to make Prometheus. Ridley Scott literally took his own franchise and said, you know what? I want to corrupt it and turn it into
and Queen just literally asked, does anyone like Prometheus? I didn't really care for Prometheus. I think I like Covenant a little bit more. I don't know. Maybe I'm weird about that, but I still.
You are a minority, my friend.
I think I am.
Covenant is regarded as the worst Alien product ever.
I didn't really like either of them, but if I'm gonna, grade them, I feel like I like the second one a little better. Still didn't care for. I was like, and then I know they want to do a third one, and I'm like, I don't need any more of these.
The alien removal sequence in Prometheus is so grotesque. It holds enough weight on its own to make
that is kind of cool.
Better. Like, that scene is brutal.
It's brutal. That's in the spaceship, right? Like at towards the end.
The health thing, and then it gets out of her and it starts trying to grab at her while she's still.
Yeah, that is pretty awesome. That sequence right there, and that kind of comes out of nowhere too. Like, oh, we're gonna see an alien now, because like there's gonna be xenomorphs. We only had the engineers. I missed a lot of Queen's comments here. Queen said, at least, she said, I didn't hate Tron Ares. No, I didn't hate it. The universe is completely made of energy. There was military in this, a lot of military. Queen. She also feels like it was like a part 4, and she loved Gillian Anderson. I like Gillian Anderson. She looked great too. She did look great. Ripley died.
Mom, wasn't it?
Yeah. Died. Which again, pointless. I mean, that role was kind of pointless, but I did like her in it.
It was pointless. What's funny is that when she has the blonde hair, it throws me off.
Yeah, she's fantastic.
Oh God, she's hot.
Yeah, she still looks great. She looks so good. I feel like she's aged better. I mean, every time I see her, she's getting older. I'm like, she looks better and better every time I see her. I'm like, you get it, Gillian Anderson. Yeah, bang that mom too. Let's get in there. Come on, Gillian Anderson. Come on, cruise control.
Yeah, I want to get in
there. And then we got another comment from Travis Mitchell over here saying the lightning bolts will hang in the air because they move fast. Faster than our eyes can process. That's how I see the light cycle trails. I can kind of see that, like a lightning bolt kind of, but then they kind of disappear eventually.
But they're there too long, I guess. I think the fact that they're corporeal, like that you can run into them and stuff.
It was pretty. It makes for some good visuals. Let me just say that.
For sure. Like, it looks really cool when he's going down the road and he cuts the cop car in half. I'm like, yeah, of course. I'm like, it's neat. I'm like, it's a cool effect. I'm like, I know suspension of disbelief, but I only make comments like this or complaints like this when you've done such a good job kind of keeping within the realm of like physics and reality and that kind of stuff. So when something that does that stuff so well and then just breaks it, I don't know, it just kind of irks me more. It's like, don't go against your own rules, don't go against your own science, don't go against your own like what you've presented. I mean, in your world, there's nothing that pisses me off more than when you're watching something like either like about magic or like whatever, and they go against what they presented as the key components of their world because they need to MacGuffin their way through this real quick and they need to way out. And so that's what they do. And I'm like, don't break your own rules. Don't break your own codes. Even if your codes and rules are fantastical, as long as you stay within the boundaries of what you've presented of being real or possible within your world, then I'm here for it. But the minute you break what you've presented, that's when I start having issues.
And Travis said, too, Tron the Next Day is worth a watch. Another main cast member from the original film was in it who wasn't in Legacy. Was that Bit? I think Bit was in it, too. Wasn't Bit from the back? Yeah. So
but
I think
also,
it was
like, that was nostalgia bait. Bit didn't need to be there because Bit evolved. Remember, Bit is a result of like old technology. That whole sequence, the whole going back in to the old Tron system, That was more
Yeah.
nostalgia bait. We didn't
It was
need
nostalgia.
We already
That's what it
upgraded that.
was.
That whole server is upgraded. It's not an 80s server
But this
anymore. We
one was a
upgraded it.
separate one, Lexi, that was
There is
never
a separate
touched.
one. That's bullshit. That's never been fucking explained.
It
This
was
is not
offline.
he wouldn't do that. I mean, he might keep it offline. I could see him keeping it offline because he doesn't want it to get hurt. But
Yeah.
like outside of him keeping that off of line, his world is an evolving, ever-changing ecosystem. That's what he fucking built. His program is a petri dish. It's a growing, evolving city. It's not 80s nostalgia bullshit that you roll back into and talk about Depeche Mode.
Depeche Mode again. I know, right?
Stop. I don't care about fucking Depeche Mode. What was the Depeche Mode in this movie? Like I
Mozart.
get it. They're from the fucking 80s. Whatever. Like, shut up.
I just think that it would have been. I mean, I don't hate this movie, but I do say that it would have been cool if it would have just been like a direct sequel legacy, and just brought that bring there and then bring those same characters in and grow from there. And I wish it would have been the same grid. Like it was a separate grid. Now, if you had the combating grids, it'd been one thing, you know, like maybe Flynn's still working on his, and then Dillinger makes his own.
That Dillinger built a grid, and that their grid was corrupted and like kind of like a Nazi grid.
Right? Yeah, so you see the good and the bad grids, pretty much. You know how bad they can go.
Cool. I mean, they're all black and red. That's clearly the evil grid, right? Like we got the black and red grid. That's where all the evil
got
stuff
the white and the blue is the happy, you know,
right,
good.
Right. Because like his grid was all like blue and green, and then like even in the original Tron, when things went corrupt or bad, it went red.
Yeah,
like, they would turn red. So like there was that whole. There's a lack of color in this film outside of the red. There's a lot of red in this movie. I liked when he finally went white. I thought that was a nice contrast change. Honestly, like I was like, oh, that's cool.
They're setting him up to be the next big thing. He's in Mexico now, hanging out, having some margaritas, thinking about
his cult.
Hanging out with his cult. Queen says, "Why doesn't the Tron universe disappear whenever someone turns off the lights?" I don't know, Queen.
He's got one of those backup batteries on it, you know.
Yeah, right. It's got the. It's off the grid. It's off. Get it? Yeah. I mean, they could have easily done something where Jeff Bridges has a piece of his particles where just still exists, or when he merged with Clue, he could have just reformed someplace else later on for a new one, you know, and he could have still been alive. They could have found a lot of ways as opposed to being this like. I guess beta level, very early on, Flynn character didn't experience anything from Legacy. That's pretty much what it was. He didn't experience any of that, so he has no idea about Sam.
Did you see Megan 2.0?
I didn't see. I couldn't put myself through it because I heard it was so different. And
is it different?
Yeah,
Ooh, it's different. But I bring it up because with the concepts that we're talking about, I think that Megan 2.0 executed a lot of the computer stuff better that we're talking about today. The issues that we're running into, things like, for instance, she knew Megan's system was still in her house, but Megan's system couldn't get out of her house. So when she moves Megan's system, she moves it into one of those little like desktop, like Bluetooth activated little robots.
Oh yeah.
And then she puts all the Wi-Fi and every accessibility off on it, and essentially Megan's trapped inside this little robot thing because like she's been locked out of like the ability to move through servers and stuff like that. And I think
makes sense.
Concept was an interesting idea, and that her AI exists, but that they had to rebuild a body for her to put her into. And so that movie was them rebuilding Megan's body for her for the purpose of putting the AI back in it, while being able to use her and drive her, that kind of thing, and also trying to keep her free will like at bay, because like her free will is part of the issue of why she kills. So it's like an interesting concept and conversation in that film. That's not the sequel you want necessarily. I want Megan to be a lot more violent, but she's great. She's a great character. I love her, and I'm not here to talk about Megan, but I think that there's an interesting idea in the sense that both these films are talking about AIs. Both these films are talking about how to bring AIs into the real world and all this kind of the conversations about AIs in the real world and stuff. And for all of its faults and flaws, Megan's story was better around that than this film, which is a film specifically focused on and about this stuff. And so while neither are a good film or perfect in their execution, both have interesting ideas that I feel like maybe if we had combined them together, we would have gotten a more interesting film. Try making
Tron.
it, by the way. It's so
Uh,
different that it's almost worth watching.
I think it's on Peacock. I think, right?
Yes, on Peacock. I watched it.
Maybe I'll
It's not
pop
that
it
long
on.
either. But
It
like,
really.
don't expect a horror movie.
I
Expect
know
a
it's a lot different. It's an action comedy or something, right?
what
Like
the
I know
hell is
when they put Britney Spears in the trailer music, I'm like, wait a second, what's happening? We're using "Hit Me, Baby" one more time. So
Megan is still my favorite modern horror character. I love her. I think I'll watch anything she's in just to get her, but I wouldn't call this a good film. But I wouldn't call Aries a good film either.
what's up, Hannah?
So what's none of it's as good as The Long Walk.
I gotta check out The Long Walk. I still like. I think there was so many different situations that could have happened that could have made Aries a really great movie, a really great Tron movie, and it's like they kind of like sabotage themselves. It felt like, as opposed to doing like the thing that's probably the most common sense version is just continue the story. They're like, oh, let's kind of do our own thing. And you're never going to have success doing that, especially when you have a built-in fan base that is your big audience right here. I also think the problem is, though, too, people are just not going to theaters like they used to. 132 million they're saying they're going to lose on this movie. That's a lot of money. It's a lot of money.
They need a person. I could do this job. I'd be great at this job, honestly. But they need a person whose job it is to go to like conventions and go to film screening releases and all that kind of stuff and go every place that large crowds of people are gathering for events and wherever they're like based around their franchises. So we'll use Tron as an example. So like let's say like at Comic-Con there's a huge Tron booth, right? You have a person that's at the Comic-Con booth and their job is just go out and be like, you're a big Tron fan, right? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, why do you like Tron? Like, what is it about Tron that appeals to you? And you just kind of stand there and you listen to people talk about what it is about a franchise that they love and what they cared about and what's important to them. And just kind of do this throughout like the year and then come back and be like, these are the things these people expect from this. And instead of going, well, we're going to do this, go, oh, they want this? Shit, we need to retool.
Yeah, we got to shift this.
The money is going to come from respect. Respect is what gets you money. Respect is what keeps people coming back to you. It's not that you're the largest or that you have the most of. It's about how people feel about you. It's like why people buy Louboutins or any of that kind of stuff. It's a respect of what the name brings to the table and what it can do. And when a property has been handled respectfully for throughout the years, people have a high regard for it, whatever it is. So anything that's been done well, anything that's been handled properly, anything that stays respectful within the boundaries of what it's been trying to do, people gravitate to and latch onto more than if you saturate and flood a market with Marvel products and then people are kind of forced to enjoy Marvel, not that they're actually doing it. And that's one area they really need to sit down and talk with their fan base and figure out what it is they want. Because
especially Marvel for sure, because the fan base
or I want that movie, say, I would like you to push the direction of this more in this way. There are events that I'd like to see occur. There are you're at a point where you can start doing like major crossover things. And I know you play with that here and there, but I'm like, as a fan, the thing that's going to make me come back to Marvel is, the thing that's going to make me go watch the next Tron is what is going to make me engage with these things better, because nobody's
Timothy Chalamet
us those questions. And we're the people that have the money and the means. And as people, we need to stop giving money to shit that isn't fucking good. We need to stop going, well, I know they remade this and it looks like garbage, but I want to see what they did. You want to see what they did? Go
Anaconda.
And I know you're not supposed to say things like that, but I'm like, honest to God, don't give it money if you're unsure. If you're unsure of something like that and you're like, it looks terrible and I don't think it's going to be good, don't be here handing money to it then.
People do all the time. Morbius was one. People were like, went out to go see how bad it was, and I gave it more money.
That's different, like in the sense that Morbius is a film that nobody asked for, or
true.
Not that nobody asked for, that people weren't expecting, and was based on something new. And so, at least because I said I want to see it, and I still kind of want to see it, just because I'm like, well, I like that character. I'd like to
Yeah.
see what they
It
did
was
with that
okay.
character. I'm like, I hear nothing good about it. I hear absolutely negative things about it. But
Yeah.
just that factor that he was a superhero character that I grew up with, and they made a film based on him, and I would like to see what they did with that film is enough to make me even now want to see it. Whereas a remake of Spider-Man for the fourth time, I don't give two fucks. Or a remake of, you know, some shit that I've seen done. But I don't want a remake of Invasion of the Body Snatchers again. You do it every 20 years. Stop. Like,
They
I
love
don't
doing that.
I don't need more of the same, and I don't need Nightmare on Elm Street. I don't need this. Like I've always said, like remakes either need to be based on films that failed and had a lot of potential, but just didn't have the budget or the execution or the people behind it that it needed to get to its full level, or you need to just like make new product.
But people, they just love it. They say, "Oh, this made money before; it'll make money again." We talk about it all the time, but that's just kind of the mindset, the business mindset, and it doesn't work anymore. It doesn't equate. That people don't go to see a movie based off that name anymore. They get more frustrated about it. And I think that's also what Tron suffered from too. People are like, "We don't want to learn like what Tron. This is not original," and I think people are just mad about that too. People like don't go to see these reboot, remakes, continuations anymore. They want new content and
I
things that do
mean,
well. I like the $10 million movies that are original.
like the Long Walk did well.
Yeah, did well, you know? And
Why?
that's easy to
Because
do.
they said it was a Stephen King name on it, but also like it
No, I
did
think it
well.
looked interesting. It just looked different, you know?
Go make some Dean Koontz movies.
Yeah.
Stop with the Stephen King. What
And
happened to Dean Koontz?
good question. I guess, and also, just so we know, I guess, American Jim, I love a joystick. Good to know, American Jim. Good to know you love it, a joystick. Travis Mitchell said from the trailer, Tron Ares looks like a remake of the first Venom movie. Think about that. A remake of the first Venom movie. That's what Travis is saying Tron reminded him of.
God damn, that's terrible.
Venom, Venom.
Awful movie.
I actually don't mind the Venom movies. They're kind of fun.
Terrible. I didn't see the second one. I saw the first one.
The third one was all right. It's just they
got three of them.
they should have done so much more of those too. Unfortunately, that's what happens. And Queen said she actually liked Morbius, and Tron needed a big star. And Megan felt like a slasher film. The first one, the second one didn't. I think that they would have had Jared, I think, is a star, but I think that people already look at him as like, if he's doing it, it's going to bomb. That's like a whole thing. People are actually comparing how bad Morbius bombed to this bombing, and this actually might bomb worse than Morbius bombed, which they spent a lot more money on this. So, of course, it's a bigger IP than I think that Morbius was. Sony wasn't putting as much money into that. So I can see this actually losing more. It's actually losing more than Tron Legacy. So Tron Legacy is making $10 million less than Tron Legacy did at the box office. That's not a good thing, especially inflation and all that too. But Tron Legacy did do better on streaming. Thing is, didn't do well at all. Didn't do well at the box office. No, but it did make money.
Never see a Tron film after Legacy.
Me either.
I genuinely thought that was it. I thought that was their big try, and they failed, and they were like, "Fuck it." And that's like the Tron's never coming back.
Yeah, and it was they put a lot of time into it, effort, money. Joseph Kosinski, who directed it, I think he did an awesome job directing it, getting Daft Punk, getting Jeff Bridges back. I mean, everything, all the elements were great, but people just didn't like it. And even the visuals were so much better than like the original one. It really stepped it up. It had a great feeling. Everything about it.
The time period that movie came out,
2010.
That was the best on-screen CG I've
even the Uncanny Valley stuff. I was fine with it.
And the 3D, I don't like 3D. I don't go to movies and watch them in 3D. And I remember when I saw Legacy in the theater, I could only see it in 3D. They wouldn't let me watch it any other way. And I loved how the start of that film was 2D, and you don't get the 3D until you put the glasses on. So the whole stuff with him in his dad's office and all that kind of stuff, it's all 2D. And then all of a sudden you go into Tron, and it's like, whoa! And Tron looked so good in 3D. And I'm someone I hate 3D because I wear glasses.
Yeah.
So it sits too far out. It always creates this double effect. It never looks good for me. So I hate 3D.
I hate 3D too.
I want to love it because conceptually the idea is fun, but it always never sits right on people who have glasses. But that was one of the few films that I watched in 3D where I was like, that was excellent, and I enjoyed that experience, and it wasn't too bad. Like,
I would like to see this in 3D actually. I don't know. I think that might. Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool to see it in 3D. I didn't see it in 3D.
I was like, I thought about seeing it in the D box theater, but they wanted like $35, and
Oh
I was
boy.
like, and I wasn't gonna ask you because Brian gave me the money to go see this. So Brian's like, you need to go see Tron Girl, and I was like, all right,
Yeah, you gotta go see Tron. I mean, you have to see it.
He's like, if it's too much more, I'll give you a little bit more, and I'm like, we ain't D boxing, we got this. I'll go.
I went and tried to watch it in 4DX, but I did it like after a live show on Friday. So had quite a few libations, and I sat down in that chair and I was like, oh, I'm getting nauseous from this. So I left. I left. I was like, I can't do it. It was too much for me. I needed seatbelts in that shit.
I saw Battle Angel Alita in the 4D. It
Yeah.
was probably one of the best film experiences I've ever had in my entire life.
It can be so good.
The rain effect and the lightning effect and all that kind of stuff. Oh my god, it was so good.
Yeah, incredible. It could be so awesome, but I was not there that night.
That's what film should be. Like, in my opinion, the modern theater should be D-boxed. D-box should be like the regular. I don't necessarily need the 3D, but I feel like D-box should really be what a theatrical experience is in this day and age. I don't know why it's and not so expensive, but like it should be normality. Like we should be really like normalizing these like moving seats and this whole experience thing. It changes the whole filming experience. Watching Fast and the Furious 8 in like the D-box seats, oh man, that was incredible. Like that was so good. And I saw Guardians of the Galaxy 2 in the D-box, and I didn't even like that movie. I didn't think the D-box seats were well utilized for it, but like still added to the experience when it did. It was still there.
It does.
So it's just like, and like they said, like Battle Angel Alita, having the rain and the lightning effect and feeling it while you're like on screen, like it was really cool.
It's pretty epic.
Yeah, it's neat. We wanted to see Titanic in those.
They're like snow in the theater. I'm like, it's snowing in here. You know?
Yeah, it's such a neat effect.
Yeah,
cool.
The ambiance is amazing when you do that.
Yeah, it's cool.
Queen wants a remake of The House of Wax or a remake of The Creature from the Black Lagoon in 3D.
By the way, can we just talk about how the remake of House of Wax is not a remake of House of Wax? It's a remake of Tourist Trap. It's absolutely
I have no idea.
Yeah, I know, because we talked about it on the 3Dmers. It was a whole conversation that we had. And we were like, this is not a remake of this. This is a remake of that. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Then you know.
Tourist Trap is this 70s horror film where this guy has a fake town that he sets up, and all the mannequins are in the windows of the town. And people go in and they think it's a town. They stop to go like whatever to like go get gas or look around and stuff. And then there's no humans. And then there's a killer there, and he goes around and he kills you.
Oh man!
And that's what House of Wax was. It was a fake town with a bunch of mannequins in it that you show up to, and it's fake. And then you end up wandering around, and realize like, oh my god, there's a killer here. Except he uses wax instead of mannequins.
What's up, Atlanta? Queen said, I call that the Paris Hilton version. 100%. Paris Hilton, The House of Wax was not for me. Travis says, as audience attention span shrinks, the massive gaps between sequels are part of what hurts these movies. Suicide Squad 2 came out 5 years after the first. The teenagers who see the one movie are adults. Yeah, it is too long. Tron should have had a sequel like 5 years after that, the latest 5 years after Tron Legacy. And they had one in development, but it fell into development hell and they never had it. Tron was supposed to be back. Jeff Bridges was supposed to be back. It was supposed to be everybody. That would have been the time to do it.
I never thought about I complain about the time span between episodes of television being an issue because like things stop on cliffhanger. Yeah. When you're waiting 3 years for a TV show to come back, I don't particularly want to go back and rewatch the season that I watched before, but also like I can see how you're doing that to gimmick me into giving you more ratings. But like, yeah, I don't get it.
Well, Lex, let me ask you this. Do you recommend people watching Tron Ares?
I think if you're a Tron fan, that
not sure, not sold.
I don't know what to say because like
it's a romping ride.
I think there's some good in it. I guess I'll stand by that. the tech stuff in it, I think, was executed flawlessly in a lot of ways. I think the 3D printing stuff was really well handled. I think there's a lot of good that if you're a Tron fan, you could be intrigued with and be okay with. And I think like that stuff's all kind of handled okay. I think the Flynn stuff is going to offend you. Or if you're someone who's really into the nostalgia bait, the Flynn stuff's going to excite you endlessly. So, like, I mean, if you like that, like, there's plenty of that in it. But if you're a diehard fan of this stuff, this is going to disappoint you. And the more we talk about it today and the more we sit with it, I feel more like issues with it too. Like, I'm looking at it and I'm like, a movie was 2 hours long and there's still holes in the story. There's still a lot of holes in the story and spots where I'm like, well, why did this? Because as we're sitting here talking about it, I find myself asking a lot of questions, more than I did when I got out of that theater. And when I got out of that theater, I felt like more positive about it. Initially, my rating, I was going to give it like a 3.5. And then I said, I don't think that's reasonable. I'm like, I don't think a 3.5 is deserved to this. I think I'm going to give it a 2. And I was like, well, you can give it that little half. Because I was like, you did really like the fight sequences. And you really did like the interaction between Ares and the black girl computer program, whatever she was.
Yeah, she was Ares, and she's also a Greek god name, right? It was also like,
yeah, she was. It was. I think that was an interesting idea in the sense that both of them have sort of like sentience and an understanding,
which I
ability
liked
to understand, but she was too scared of like the generals to step out of line, whereas he wasn't scared of the generals to step out of line.
Athena.
In that sort of, yeah. So like she was a good character too. But then of course she does that thing where she breaks and like goes over.
Has that moment when it rains and she feels the rain for a second. It just changes everything.
Like,
Athena
like,
Queen.
Oh god, the stupid rain stuff. I thought the rain stuff was handled well with him. I thought it was done with her.
I think it's just like that. That was that again, that we're saying it again, so now it's affecting her. So it's like something that affects all the programs, maybe.
We probably should have said at the start of this that we're going to give spoilers.
Athena was a little sympathetic. I could see that, Queen. They could have brought back the original actors. Yeah, I mean, we're spoiling it out. We're doing it. It's happening. I'd watch anything that has sci-fi myself, Queen says. I love sci-fi. And then Queen says you should watch it. It's worth the visuals. I think it is worth the watch for the visuals and the score. And if you want a romping good time, turn your brain off.
If you're looking for a sequel to Legacy, you're not going to get that. If you want more Tron in your life and you're not particularly picky, and I don't say that like in an insulting way, but just like it's not going to be something that's going to really fulfill you the way that a Tron film typically does, but it's going to at least like give you a light snack.
There you go. I say maybe take an adult substance and go see it. I don't know. That's what I'd say. You might really enjoy even more. And Travis says, Marvel has also changed what a sequel is. You used to walk into Spider-Man 2 only needing Spider-Man 1. Now Captain Marvel 2 doesn't make sense unless you've seen 3 shows. That's also true. Yeah. They need to work on that. They say that there should be no homework for their stuff moving forward, but there's still always homework with Marvel. And Cameron Monaghan in Ares was pretty much James Franco in Alien Covenant.
There's not going to be any homework moving forward. I'm sorry. You spent 10 years giving us homework. It doesn't matter at this point.
Yeah.
If we want to understand anything that came out from basically 2006 to now, we're going to stop it now. I'm like, well, thank you for 20 years.
Thank you.
I appreciate that.
I enjoy the little things you get when you watch the shows, but they should be like Easter eggs, and you shouldn't have to watch everything. Because some of it, I'm like, why are we doing this?
To watch the films. The shows should not be connected to the films enough. Like, there should be little Easter eggs in the shows, but the shows, the fact that I have to watch an entire television series to watch a movie, fuck yourself.
Ironheart bombed. Wonder Man. Wonder Man looks good.
Imagine being told before you go and watch Hannibal or Silence of the Lambs, right?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, well, you got to go back and you got to watch like 16 television shows and like 2 films to know what's going on in Silence of the Lambs. And you're like, I'm not watching that.
Yeah, I don't have time for that. I want to go sit down and watch it. I'm already mad it's a 2-hour movie. I like it to be an hour and 45.
And that's a deep psychological thriller that you can twist and weave and like flesh out. And I'm like, these superhero movies are so basic. It's the most basic formula of writing. Guy shows up, guy gets power, guy goes and fights things. All these other films after the first initial I got my power films should just be people running around and fucking shit up.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Fuck
I
that
don't
shit
really
up.
understand like how there's so many of them at this point. I'm like, it's just running around fucking shit up. It's like, well, I don't like that. I'm like, okay, I'm not that big of a fucking nerd, all right?
I shout to all the nerds out there, guys. Shout out to all the nerds.
I'm a huge nerd. I'm sitting here with a toy cabinet behind me.
I'm a huge
Like,
nerd too.
Really? But like, every nerd's got their breaking point. Even
Yeah.
Harry Potter isn't this complicated.
Yeah. It might be moving forward. We'll see.
Potter gets ridiculous. I don't even like that shit.
There's so much Harry Potter coming. And Queen said this was a vehicle for Jared. Yeah, just a vehicle for Jared. We just could have used the original user. We could have used Flynn being in the real world. We could have had Sam Flynn and Jeff Bridges. And of course, who I can't remember who played. I can't remember Tron Legacy. The one who played the Ios that got out.
Blue?
The girl. What's her name?
Naomi something.
Maybe Naomi? Naomi? What? No, Naomi what? I know it was Garrett was the main guy. Olivia Wilde.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
She's hot.
Yeah, but she wasn't in this either. They showed a picture of her, but it was like an afterthought. I was like, you know what? Maybe we should have like one sequence where we set up for, and they shot it because it's just him on a motorcycle or some shit showing it. So it was like we just set it up just in case. You know what I mean? We're like, oh fuck you guys. I was like, fuck you when I saw that too. I'm like, you're shitting on me. But I do again, I do enjoy the movie. And if there was a sequel and we got into that world, I would be like excited to see them retcon and fix the world and fix it and make it work again. You know?
You know very well if they make a fourth Tron film, I'm gonna go watch it.
Of course, we'll be there. Yes, that's what I'm saying. We'll be watching that one together. Come on, if they do a fourth one.
I'll be angry if they go in. I'm like, let me tell you, you got a lot of work to do.
You got some work.
Ares is gonna go down, like in history. Ares is gonna go down as the worst Tron film ever made.
You think so, huh? I can see that right now.
I think even if they make a fourth film, that there's no way it will be as bad as this one. And if it is as bad as this one, wow. Because I don't know how you get worse than this. And I'm not ripping this film apart. I just think this is the worst Tron product ever made, period. Like, it's not that it wasn't executed well visually. Like, once again, same fucking shit. Well, the visuals were great. The audio was great. All that kind of stuff. It was that you were not respectful to your property. You were not respectful to your fans. You're not respectful to your franchise. And you alienated a huge segment of people by eliminating the second film the way that you did. And you really broke everything that Tron spent the better part of, like, 40 fucking years building.
And it's like, and it crashes down.
Computer's got to crash at some point.
Gonna crash. Quora. Yeah, that was the name of Olivia Wilde's character, Quora. We'll see what happens, guys. More Tron coming. Queen says probably the last Tron. I don't think so. I think give it 10 years and we'll get one more because Jeff Bridges will want to do it and there'll be somebody else that'll make it happen. I just think so. We'll see. Only time will tell.
I don't say this to be mean, but like, or Jeff Bridges is dead.
Yeah.
Like, look at the time frame between the last Tron and this Tron. I'm like, I was in Ohio in 2010 watching that Tron film.
Yeah.
And now it's 2015. So 15 years of Jeff Bridges aging. Like, I don't say that in an insulting way. Jeff Bridges is not a young, spry young man anymore. He was in his, like, 20s or 30s when he made the first Tron film. Like,
he's 75 right now. If they wait another 15 years, he's gonna be 90. You know. Yeah.
Oh, the grid.
Yeah, the grid. I'm still here.
Flynn's still here, man. Super cool.
He's even more the dude at that point. He's becoming the dude more and more the older he gets. He's just more and more the dude. Yeah. I'm just waiting for that movie to come but get a sequel.
Have you seen that absolutely horrendous T-Mobile ad with Jeff Bridges?
I haven't seen it. No.
Always hanging out with Zoe Delzana or whatever, and like her house with her husband, and he shows up and they're talking about T-Mobile, and I'm just like, Jeff Bridges, what the fuck is this? Like, you're Jeff Bridges, like you're one of the greatest actors to ever live, dude. And I'm just like,
Making
do
money.
you need a paycheck at 75? Were you really sitting there going, well, damn, I need this T-Mobile ad? I'm like, God. And the one
Making
with Billy
money.
Bob Thornton. You seen the Billy Bob Thornton Verizon ad or whatever?
I don't think I've seen that either. No.
God damn! I'm like, all these major celebrities that are older than hell. Like, you have legacy money. What the fuck? And you're like, I'm over here talking about Verizon. I'm like, Billy Bob Thornton, get the fuck out of here.
It just shows that everybody eventually sells out. That's just what it is.
And then the Riyadh Comedy Festival. Jesus Christ! Like, you want to talk about selling out? Woo! We're not going to talk about.
Two more quick comments. Travis said, great Easter egg, X-Men Origins. Stryker has a revolver with a 6 adamantium bullets, firing 5 of them, leaving the one that Logan has in Logan. Perfect. Oh, I didn't realize that. So that one bullet was from X-Men Origins. That's pretty cool. A little Easter egg right there. And then they could always use CGI to make him young. Yes, Queen. And Netflix and Comcast are interested in buying Warner Brothers. I know. Everybody's looking at buying WB right now too, Killian. There's like, I guess they have a bunch of different offers on the table. Oh, man. WB is going to sell to the highest bidder very soon. And when it does, good luck, James Gunn. Because I feel like he might lose his DC universe. Thank you for the pumpkins, Killian. Only time will tell. Thanks for being here, King Kruse, guys. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Good to have you, Lexi. Always good to talk about Tron.
Great. That was very sweet.
Bum, 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 bum.
I think we genuinely covered it all.
Yeah.
We even got some further conversation than I was expecting. But yeah, I got all my points out. I think we do better.
Do better.
Disney.
I still enjoyed it, but do better. Do better, you know?
Yeah. Like,
actually
I don't
care about the story.
Lights. I'm like, if you're just going to give me flash lights, give me some ecstasy and let me go to a rave.
From her words, from her mouth to yours, guys. Disney, get it. Get it, get it, get it, get it, get it. Why would they want to buy Warner Brothers? No, finally DC was the right hands. KI2 and Queen. We need a new DC team, Killian saying. I mean, the thing is, though, Zaslav has been saying this before we bounce off. Zaslav's been saying that since he bought WB, when Discovery merged, that he was calling like a fixer-upper, like fix it up, get it on the right track, and sell it to the highest bidder. And then people are like, oh, no, he's not going to do that. And yeah, he's going to do that. So I think that DCU may continue under James Gunn. People are already speculating that James Gunn might get fired. That's a chance. If Paramount buys it, if Netflix buys it, you never know what they're going to do. That's what it comes down to.
I couldn't imagine being in James Gunn's position where somebody approached you and they said, hey, you did some really good movies. We're going to give you a universe consisting of well over thousands of superheroes and have existed for the better part of, 80 years? Like... And you're going to be in charge of figuring out how to take all of the stuff that we've fucked up and fix all of the stuff that we fucked up and get this all back on track by yourself. They didn't do that with Marvel. All those Marvel films weren't directed by one person or had one person pretty much pushing it all on. They had individualized directors who knew what the hell they were doing, and they got on the right track because they let each person direct their own film and got results with each person. And they said, you're good at Iron Man, do the next Iron Man. You're good at Thor, do the next Thor. You're good at this, keep it in your wheelhouse. Stay with what you're familiar with, stay with the characters that you know, and keep on that path. It's not that one guy got handed every single franchise and was told how to figure out how to make it all work. And now everybody's looking at James Gunn and going, he's got to fix this. And it's like, you went and got a guy who worked for Troma. Like, he's not going to go and focus on, like, the whatever stuff. He's a weird guy. He's the guy who brought Starro into a film. I said, in all my years, I never thought I'd see Starro.
He did bring Starro into a film.
And Starro was main focus. And I was like, you know how happy that made me as that weird kid who likes Starro? But I'm like, but do you think that 50,000 people were excited to see Starro? People who are like completely unfamiliar with whatever X, Y, and Z is? I'm like, no, they weren't. I'm like, that's the point that James Gunn is. James Gunn is going to make DC content for me. That weird kid who's way on that other side of DC and knows what the hell those characters in that film are. I'm the one sitting here going, I would love a Mr. Multiplex film, and they'd be like, James Gunn would be like, I'd make that. That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
I'll make that.
He wants to do Elastic Man.
I love that. I
Yeah.
think Elastic. I thought is Aaron Aronofsky.
He's still attached to it. Yeah, he's still attached to it.
That's going to be incredible. That's going to be an incredible film. Darren Aronofsky makes no bad films.
I know. I think it sounds awesome, but we'll see what happens with that. That's why James Gunn having it, I think you get a lot more interesting DC movies. And he did say that he does maybe want to give Batman the yellow trunks. So we'll see about that too.
Give a superhero movie too. He probably wouldn't do it, but you know who would be amazing doing superhero stuff? Fucking Christopher Nolan.
Oh yeah, he would be.
Nolan is incredibly built and designed for that stuff. I mean, the stuff I complain about that are
all his Batman movies
to the superhero stuff. He can do a superhero movie just fine. He can focus on a male lead, not have any women in it, just let them be eye candy, just like he loves, and do lots and lots and lots of set pieces and explosions and effects, and not worry about writing well-developed characters because they're superheroes. They don't need to be.
Don't need to be. There you go.
Stop pretending you can make movies, Nolan. Just go make superhero shit.
From Lexi's lips to yours.
Fucking terrible.
And Booster Gold was totally uncalled for. That's what KI2 says. I want to see Booster Gold, but
Brian,
I would love to see Booster Gold.
I stand by it, and I still stand by it. I would love to see with the blonde hair doing Booster Gold. That is a role built for you.
Maybe one day. Maybe. James Gunn, listen to us. Listen to us. Thanks for being here, Lexi. Appreciate you as always. We got to get out of here. Thanks for being here, Queen. Killian, good to see you. KI too. Also, thank you out there, of course. Travis over there on the Use of the Tubes, guys. Appreciate you out there, everybody. Thanks for having a good day. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your Tuesday. And Lexi, thank you again for joining me. And great time talking about some Tron. Fun times. Always. Yes. Take care, everybody.
Ryan, go watch it.
Go watch what?
Go watch Megan 2.0. Give it a shot.
I'll check it out.
If anything, I'd love to talk to you about it. See what you think.
We'll talk about it next week. I'll check it out. We'll talk about it next week.
Perfect. All
right. Take care, Alexi. Thank you again. Everybody out there, always like and subscribe goes a long way. And also, take care. See ya.